Hey, this is Ben Solomon, and welcome to this episode of the Techno Leadership Show. So there you have it, the final episode of Season 4. It's been one hell of a marathon. Initially, when I started, I thought I'd do about 90 days of content to build up momentum, but also to be able to do pretty much a brain dump of all the things that I've learned in my technology career, in my technology management career, and then in my executive leadership role as a director of technology as well. And also bring in correlations from my time leading teams remotely, leading teams in hybrid situations, and leading teams in the office. So hopefully that, I've given information that you can utilize. I try as hard as possible to keep things very high level and philosophy based and principles based so that you can utilize that for your scenario. If I keep things too tactical, what worked for me may not work for you the way it worked for me. But if I can give you the distilled essences of the principles, of the mental models, of the philosophy behind the decisions, behind the way of operation of things, it then gives you a tool that you can utilize when you're faced with a certain situation to look at it from those lenses and create your own outcome using that. That's what I've worked hard to do. I know some episodes might have gone a bit too technical and too tactical, but I believe a significant amount of the episodes I've kept fairly high level, philosophical, and principles based, because principles don't change as often. And if we can get a really good grasp of principles, we can then reverse engineer our way and create solutions using the latest tactics, latest needs, latest platforms, whatever it might be, while utilizing the principles as a foundation to build them on. So that's been my goal, to keep things as principle based as possible. And I believe I've been able to do that with the 4 seasons so far. So 4 seasons, been 104, 105 episodes, I believe it has been, which has been quite intense for me. Working, doing the courses and study that I do on the side, as well as doing this on a day-to-day basis consistently, has been difficult. And yes, the eventual goal was to move to a bi-weekly show, which means it's going to be from season 5. We'll be having 2 episodes a week that are launched on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the evening in Australia. So it'll be Tuesday early morning and Thursday early morning in the US, and in between it's in between times. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit more different, a little bit more spaced out, and I will endeavor to reach out to other people that I can interview, because I also want to get other people's perspective and other people's principles that they've created, principles and models, mental models that they've created over their careers to be able to successfully lead and create the changes that they've been able to create the results that they've been able to create, which then will help you be equipped to grow and be able to create those kind of changes and achieve great career outcomes and achieve fulfillment in the work that you do as well. But all the tools that have helped me, especially in the last decade, I've condensed and shared so far, and I'll continue to share as well. Initially, the first almost decade, I didn't understand a lot of these things. There wasn't, probably there were tools, but I never gave coaching, taking courses from areas outside of technology and things like that enough weightage and relevance, which meant I lost out. And as I started moving from being core technical focused to then starting to build my own business part-time in the evenings, there was a lot that I learned from that I then could bring back into my technical roles, because I was then starting to look at everything from a how's this going to benefit the business and the customers of the business perspective. And then it helped me in my leadership, because I was in my business that I was doing part-time, I needed to have remote employees who could do a lot of the work while I was providing strategic guidance. So which meant that prepared me for being able to lead people in remote settings, in hybrid settings, and in in-office settings. And which meant like leading people in that context meant I needed to empower my staff to be able to do the work without needing constant input from me and constant monitoring from me, constant management from me, which means even though by nature I would have had the inclination to be more tending towards micromanagement, I had to quickly learn to be a macro manager, i.e. empower my staff, let them do their job, and if they don't do it to the standards that we've established, then figure out, was it my communication of what the standards was that was the mistake, or was it the employee in question who didn't adhere to standards, and then work on how to give feedback. All of these things I learned by being in the pressure cooker that business can be. And like the reason I'm sharing all of these things is because not everyone has the opportunities that I had. I consider myself very blessed because I've had a wife who's been very supportive, and even little kids who understand when daddy's working sort of thing. Yes, I've struggled with some aspects of the work-life balance and giving everyone the right amount of me. Which means being able to find the right kind of balance in life to do certain things. And over the period of doing what I've done, I learned that I loved the coaching aspect of leadership, being able to coach my team, support them to gain clarity, to be able to then focus on what they really wanted, and then supporting them to achieve that gave me the most satisfaction and fulfillment. And being in leadership roles allowed me to do that in that context. And when the right kind of situations arose, I decided, yes, I'll do more intensive learning around coaching so that I can formally start coaching people and helping more people make that transition to the career pathways and the career outcomes that they wanted out of tech, and also to be able to gain the leadership and management skills to really thrive. Because if you look at it from a just base standard, where even if you go in and do degrees in engineering or IT or computer science, we're not taught anything to do with business, communication, management, all of these aspects that are very important. Even if we never go into a management role, understanding how to lead, understanding how to communicate, understanding these soft what are quote unquote soft skills is crucial for career growth, even if we just stay core technical. But then if you want to go into management and leadership, these become even more important than your technical skills. Your technical skills only get you so far, but beyond that, to excel and to really thrive, you need to understand how business works, how money works, how all these other aspects work. How do you lead by putting your best foot forward? How to understand yourself, how to know your strengths, how to utilize your strengths to lead from your strengths. All of these things I've tried to share through season 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'll continue to do that, as well as try to get a really good perspective of similar things, of what has helped others in their career growth as well. So I want to, at this point, I'll be looking at continuing to do a couple of episodes a week of my sharing, but also building up a questionnaire of sorts that can elicit the best principle-based, mental model-based thinking of other leaders that I can then interview, and we can share and build on the body of knowledge, build on the principles and the mindsets and the mental models that we all can use together to create change in this world, to create better leaders, to create better technology solutions for our organizations that we work for. And eventually, like when we look at the second, third, fourth, fifth order consequence of what we do, what starts with us as leaders, as managers, as technologists, when we look at the perspective from the multiple degrees of separation, the impact that we can have on this world is immense, that we can change the world, we can leave this world in a much better place than when we got here. And that eventually is the deep core goal for me existing, and hopefully for us all existing, so we can do our little bit in this world to affect that change. For me, I'm hoping to do it through coaching more leaders, supporting more leaders, and sharing as much knowledge and wisdom as I can, while helping coach you gain the clarity of where you want to go and support you in that process. And similarly, once you get coached, you might be able to coach your staff, your people around you, and help them grow. And exponentially, we are creating goodness in this world and greatness. And hopefully I can have that tiny bit of impact that then spreads across to huge impact, like how when you throw a rock on the lake, where the rock falls, you have a little wave, but as you see it go further, the expansiveness of the touch, the impact that it has is larger and wider. Hopefully that's what we can do in this world. I wish you all the best in your journey as a tech professional, manager, and leader. If you like this episode, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to this channel so that you're notified of future episodes as they are released. And I look forward to seeing you in the future episode and continuing on the journey to helping you grow as a tech professional, manager, and leader. Have a fantastic day. Take care.